had no idea that this chick did all of these, but I'm going to put this on.
With all your experience in the adult industry, is there anything that you wish you had done differently? Is there anything that you know now that you wish you had known getting in?
There's two big things I would have done differently. Well, two things I wish I could have known and stuff. The first thing is, I wish I would have thought more on not how the actions are going to impact my future, and how people are going to view me for it, but how the emotions are going to impact my connection with others. So I often think, like, as a CEO, you sometimes sacrifice hanging out with your kids. I worry, one of my biggest fears that I'm trying to get over is, did I sacrifice my emotional connection with people to do some of these firsts, or to have true intimate passion with people for this type of career? Because while I've experienced passion on camera and had very, very beautiful intimate moments, Adriana's gotten so big that it's a little hard to connect with anybody on my personal level now. Like, to meet somebody, it sucks. Like, if I go on a date, I often will plan a date with somebody, and then slowly the date will turn into being an hour later. Then it's 8:00 at night. Oh, meet me at a hotel. I get to the hotel, they just want to bang. Or, it's taken a lot of I guess a lot of intimacy from me. Like, people don't give me the respect of giving me the treat a woman how she should be treated moments. So that kind of sucks.
How should you be treated, dear? How should you be treated? I think it was funny now. And again, we're, this is kind of like along the same lines as, like, what is it? The things we do in this life echo in eternity, Maximus, or whatever. Yeah, you can't get away from your digital footprint, and no one has quite the digital footprint as Adriana Chechik or Chechiki or whatever hell. I can't even pronounce her name. She is a notorious porn star. I would say, now maybe the chat will disagree with me here. Would you say that she is more well-known than Mia Khalifa? Like, is she on the same level of, like, porn stardom as Mia, or do you think that she is, like, way up over the top? Because from what I could, like, okay, so here's the thing. After I was done with with Wednesday's show, which was about Mia Khalifa's comments on, she is a porn star, Tony, porn star. Yeah, who is this? Who could this girl ever be? You think she's bigger? Yeah, I think she's bigger too. She's a more well-known name. I had right after that show, I had people send me this clip, and they said, "Oh, you should have used Adriana's interview too." And I'm like, "Oh man, I felt like I missed out." But I think what's funny is you see her. So Adriana, you've got Mia Khalifa, you've got Lana Rhoades, who another notorious porn star, and you've got who's the one that got a baby? Riley Reid. So we got 4 of them right there in a row. All of them with pretty much the same Hofax. Yes, that's what we need. Instead of Carfax, we need Hofax. Check the Hofax. Is there actually a Hofax? Or maybe there is. I don't know. She seemed to be, like, at the top of the heap as far as, like, all the rest of these girls are. And by the way, the chick that's doing this, I forget the girl's name, the interviewer. Apparently this is her shtick, is she gets, like, girls who are in the industry and then lets them have their time to say, how much they regretted it, or maybe they didn't regret it. Right. But they all have pretty much the same story, which is, how come I can't be treated like a lady anymore? How come I can't get any of the respect of, well, non-porn stars as a result of this? And how it must be men's fault. It must be God, because they can't it's a relative to age. Okay. Thank you. Is it? Maybe it is. I need Sterling Cooper for this section here. Wait, there we go. I need Sterling Cooper here, because now we're going to talk about, so it's when they're using pretty much the same story. And I think this relates to what I was talking about in the first half of today's show, is that women and men have a digital footprint. We have a footprint in life, period, right? What we do echoes in eternity, right? Until we're all forgotten. But the very fact that she is who she is, and it doesn't, you don't, I mean, you didn't even have to really be a porn star. You can be on OnlyFans. It's like sort of like by order of degree. I think there's this want for women to be absolved of any decisions or nobody gets to be judgmental, right? Of course, nobody gets to be discerning. They all deserve sort of this blanket respect for being, just having tits, right? Do I know about Lisa Sparks? Yes, I know about Lisa Sparks. Thank you very much. I think she's been on Adam's show, hasn't she? Which one was on Adam's show? He's had a couple of porn stars on there as well. Yeah, Rolo. Here we go. All right, ladies, it's your turn. But I wanted to point out just really briefly here is that when she's talking about like, how come she's expecting sort of this respect of a woman who's not a prostitute, and because she is, what she said, refurbished. Yep. All right, and let's keep going. This is short.
I'm hoping I'll get it. I have a fear, but maybe as I grow and change and get older, I'll find somebody to do those things with. And then
you should marry a youth pastor. I hear they're really keen on sort of porn stars.
If I could take anything back in my career, it'd be the public actions that I did that weren't for companies. Mm-hmm. So for instance, I on an escalator. Mm-hmm. Well, that did a lot for my brand in the sense of making me catapult, and people were like, wow, this is crazy. What I realize now is those moments are actually hindering me from average society wanting to work with me because they only see me in that light.
Mm-hmm. In what capacity in average society would you like to work? That wouldn't involve, I don't know, adult entertainment. Where do you hope to go after this? Are you going to write a book? Are you going to be a dating coach? What exactly is what's the going forward now that you've completed your journey of self-discovery in the porn industry? And all of your sexual acrobatics, being paid handsomely for that. What's next for you, Adriana?
They also hinder me in a sense where, people think to do those type of things, you're a partier, you're on drugs. So I wish that I was able to see my brand when I was younger so I could understand the impact of my actions on my brand at all times.
Wow. It sounds like it would have been very beneficial to have had someone, perhaps a male, a strong, dominant, masculine man in your life who said, no, Adriana, you're not going over to Pornhub. No, Adriana, that's wrong. No, Adriana, that's a bad idea. No, Adriana, you'll get to be however old was she? She's got to be 30. She 30 now? I don't even know how old she is. You're going to get later on in life, and you might be a rock star in the porn industry at 22, 18. I don't know when she got started. You might be on the top of your game there, but later on it's going to have downstream consequences. Well, here we are. It's exactly the same concept I brought up when I was talking about Tinder swindler. If there'd been an involved father, if there'd been an involved brother, best friend, male best friend, however you want to define that, if there'd been an uncle, a nephew, a cousin, whatever, who would have stepped in and said, no, you're not going to do that. No, no, no. What would you have said to him at 22 years old, Adriana? You would have said, stop being a judgy, patriarchal, chauvinistic, misogynistic fuck. That's what you would have said. That's what you would have said. And yet here later in the game, and again, this is the extreme example. This is an illustration, by the way, of highest degree. This is the apex illustration of really what's going on in sort of a gynocentric social order of the 21st century, right? By order of degree. So we're not allowed to be judgmental. No one's allowed to come in and tell you, no, that's wrong. No, you're going to regret that. No, you shouldn't do that. And especially when it comes to sex, because guys want to get laid anyways. They're like, all right, groovy, man. I'm secure enough of my masculinity that I'm okay with a porn star to marry. I'm sure that's a fantasy, but let's be real here. The guys that you're going to marry it's not like they're not going to go look up your shit. It's not like they haven't probably already seen you. So, I really wish I could find a guy who was just sweet and nice and da 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 da. Like, yeah, and you wouldn't want to have anything to do with that guy, just like you didn't want to have anything to do with any guy before that who would have told you something to the contrary of whatever the hell you wanted to do. Most likely, you would have said, "Well, I'm following my heart. I'm following my emotions. I got to do what's right for me. I'm on my journey of self-discovery." Well, guess what? At the end of the journey, you're where you are, complaining about this.
Yeah.
So I could be a little more honed in, because there's a difference in doing porn and doing crazy things, and then there's also a difference between like living those crazy acts. So, and like now, if I go out in public and I see girls, like I went to a party and these girls were like in the middle of the street, and I was like that, so I can understand the freeing exhibition of it. But at the same time, like, I'm just like, some people don't want to see that. Now you're exposing it to them.
Yeah.
And, like, I kind of almost see some of the actions I had like as careless, because I didn't think about anybody else around me. I just did it for the fun of it. So I would have had a little more respect and a little more awareness for other people.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, that you can like look back and grow as a person and see like how, you would do things differently now. Not everybody does that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I didn't see that I was making a brand at the time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if I could have seen the power that Adriana as a brand has, I would have been like, oh shit, like, you can't act like that. But I was just so in the moment,
But your brand is you being a porn star. Your brand is those acts, are those acts. That is your brand. That is you. That is the brand of me. That is the brand of you. So yeah, you were doing those because you were very well cognizant of what was going on. You knew it was going to sell. Hell, it's red meat. Do you know that I could have done a completely different episode today? I didn't have to do anything about Ellen Roger Curry. I could have just like typed something up on a Twitter post and let it go. I did it because it's the right thing to do, but like that's my brand. I'm going to do that. I'll take it on the nose if that's the case. I know damn well, trust me, I know damn well that if you go and do an episode about a porn star complaining or talking about how older guys shouldn't get with younger women, I know that's red meat. I have a whole intro for shows like that. I know it works. I know what my brand is, and I know what would you like me to just do Red Pill Wednesday or Red Meat Wednesdays? Because I can do that. People love that. They eat it up. I bet anything. You want me to grow my brand? I can sell that out anytime. But I know what my brand's about. I know what the downstream effects are. And I know that when I get to my deathbed and I'm looking at my body of work, I want to have more serious shit than I do. Like, oh, red meat. Oh, that was fun when I did that, right?
Living for me, which is great. I had great times, but it's a little bit of a hindrance now.
It's kind of one of those unfortunate things that you see like with today, especially with technology and cell phones and stuff. I think about, when I was young and I was in my early 20s and I was in college and all the stupid fucking shit that I did. And, all of the things that I would never do now, but we didn't have cell phones around. I definitely wasn't like, a performer or a star. I didn't have the eye of the world on me.
Yeah.
And so I could do all of these stupid things. I can grow and learn from them and they don't haunt me. But these days with technology, it's like everything that you do is online forever. And especially for you, like you were, a growing brand and you were a star and you had all these people watching you. So you had to go through all of this and learn all of these lessons in like the eye of the public. And that's going to be really tough.
And I also wonder,
the 800-pound gorilla in the room is, yeah, you're a star and everything. A porn star. Yeah. It's not like you were starring in blockbuster films opposite Hugh Jackman in the X-Men or something. Come on.
I know the actions I did in scenes and the type of porn I did was for me, but I wonder.
No, it was for your brand. It was because you were a porn star. Can we cut the shit here, dear?
I wonder if, and I see a lot of my actions off camera, a lot of my behavior wasn't because of me. It was more of the hype of Adriana. Like, I go out to a party and everyone's like, oh, Adriana's here. It's going to be fucking wild. And then I'm getting naked on a table because Adriana takes over the moment. And it's like, oh, well, everyone says it and I'm getting cheered on, where I'm like, dang, did I do that because I wanted to, or I did that because the ego that was built behind Adriana?
Yeah.
So the ego is separate from the Adriana. God, man, you got to love this shit, man. It's like when we talk, we used to have this concept, and I think we still kind of talk about it today, but it's the rationalization hamster, caffeinating the hamster. There's a lot of caffeine going on here. It's how can I explain my actions? How can I, when I've talked about how women deal with cognitive dissonance, this is cognitive dissonance right here. Oh, I can't believe that it was like it was an out of body experience. No, it was you. That was you. That was you doing that. You did it because you wanted to do that. I'm a different person now. You probably are a different person. I would believe that any day. But you did that because you were the person you were back then. Oh, I'm going to get on the table and go at it because that's what Adriana does. Well, you're talking about yourself in a third person as if that's going to in some way absolve you of the downstream effects of where you are and the decisions that you made in your life. Now then, you'll probably hear me talk about this with Jedediah on Wednesday, but one of the things that I've gotten into is when people ask me, oh, Rollo, do you think that we should take away women's right to vote? No, I don't. I don't think so at all. Don't you think we should limit women from this, or we should abolish Title IX? Yeah, we should abolish Title IX. But don't you think we should, like, in some way, like, hold women accountable and everything? Yes, absolutely. But I don't think we should in any way disempower women. What I think we ought to do is make women held responsible for the bad downstream effects of their own choices and their own decisions. If you want to live as a strong, independent woman, great. Just own that shit. Own your bad decisions. Own the results of it. Own the downstream effects of it. Own the fact that you're a bad mother, Michaela. Own the fact that you can't have it all. Own the fact that you were mistakenly believing the things that you did. Own that shit. That's all. You be as empowered as you fucking want to be, or be as disempowered as you want to be. I don't care. Own it. Men have to own it. If you want to, I want to be as independent as any man. I'm independent of men. Okay. Well, you know what men have to do? They have to own that shit. They have to be held responsible for that shit. They have to be held accountable for that shit. And you want to know why shows like Fresh and Fit or the rest of these shows right now that get women on there and they're told, look, no, you're wrong. Here's the data. Here's the sets. Here's everything. I know it feels bad. I can get your white knights to come and protect you. But the fact of the matter is you are incorrect. You are factually incorrect. And here we go. Oh, I can't believe he told me that. Well, I'm holding you accountable for things that you don't want to be held accountable for. In fact, it's gotten to the point where you're so oblivious to accountability that anybody speaking that suddenly sounds like or it's like misogyny or whatever.